Hello everyone! In this lesson, we will learn the simplest way of going live with a WordPress website. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first I want you to visit our fictional university website. Okay, and at the moment, this website lives within your local dev environment, which means you are the only person on the planet that can view it. So our goal in this video is to learn how to push this website up onto the web, onto our web hosting account, so that it's public and the entire world can view it. And the first step towards making that happen is to jump into the admin dashboard. And just to be clear, this is the admin dashboard that we've been working with throughout this entire course. Right, this is our fictional university local dev environment admin dashboard. And throughout this course, we've spent a lot of time creating all sorts of different posts spread out across the different post types, as well as customizing different settings and user roles and user accounts. So the idea is that we don't want to have to manually recreate each one of those posts and settings on our web hosting WordPress installation, right? That would take forever. So instead, we want to bundle up and export all of our data and all of our files so that we can import all of that within our web hosting copy of WordPress. Now, you might have noticed that if you hover over Tools in the sidebar, WordPress does have a native import and export feature. However, it's fairly basic and it will not include all of your data, nor will it include all of your files. So instead of the native import and export feature, we need something that's more exhaustive, something that's more holistic. So right now, I want to show you one of my all-time favorite plugins. So in the sidebar, hover over Plugins and click Add New. Let's use the top right search field and search for All-in-One WP Migration. And here it is, All-in-One WP Migration. As of this moment, it has 700,000 active installs and it's created by ServeMask. I'm sure a lot of these other similar plugins are great as well, but from my own personal experience, I've had excellent luck with this plugin, so it's the one that I'm going to recommend. Okay, so let's go ahead and install now, and then activate. And with the new plugin activated, we now see this new option in the sidebar, All-in-One WP Migration. And you see it gives us options of export, import, and backups. For now, we are interested in export. So you can either click that or just click on the main sidebar item. And all we need to do is click on this Export To menu. And let's choose File. So export to, the first option, File. And now the plugin is working its magic. So it's bundling together everything we need. A copy of our WordPress database, all WordPress system files, all of our theme files, any and all plugins we've installed, and any photographs we've uploaded through the WordPress media system. And once it completes, then we want to download that bundled file. So just click this animated button to download it. Okay, and now if I check my computer's downloads folder, here's that brand new file that the plugin just created. So this one convenient file contains my entire WordPress website. It contains the hundreds or probably thousands of individual files that make up WordPress, as well as any of our assets and our entire database. So now all we need to do is import this one file within our web hosting copy of WordPress. So back in the web browser, open up a new tab and jump to your web hosting site. Right, we set this up in the previous lesson. So for me, my domain is brads.sgedu.site. So go ahead and visit your particular domain and log in as the administrator. Right, this is our completely empty, fresh copy of WordPress that lives on our web hosting company's server. And let's go ahead and jump into the admin dashboard of this copy of WordPress. So all we need to do now is install that same migration plugin, except now instead of exporting, we want to import. So in the sidebar, Plugins, Add New. In the top right search bar, I will search for All-in-One WP Migration. Here it is. Go ahead and install and then activate. Okay, in the sidebar, we now have this new option, All-in-One Migration. This time, I'm going to click Import. Right? We just want to import that convenient bundle file from our local dev environment. So I believe you can literally just drag this file onto this open area, or if you're not a drag and drop kind of person, just click this Import From menu, choose File, navigate to your computer's Downloads folder, and choose our bundle file. That could take a few minutes to upload, so while we have some downtime, I will point out that this plugin is completely free as long as your bundle file is under 512 megabytes. Or in other words, as long as you didn't upload tons and tons of high-resolution photographs within your local dev copy, you should be all right. If you are over this file size limit, do not feel like you need to purchase this plugin. Instead, you might just want to challenge yourself and try out the more advanced Path B that we will cover in the next lesson. This message is just letting us know that this is going to completely overwrite and erase any and all data and files that currently live on this website. So long story short, we only want to use this import feature on a relatively new and empty WordPress installation that doesn't contain any content that we care about. Okay, so just to be clear, before you click proceed, make sure that there's not anything on this website that you care about that you haven't already backed up. So in my case, since I'm working with a brand new, clean, fresh installation of WordPress on my web host, I know that I'm safe to click proceed. Cool, we see a success message, and it's letting us know that in order to guarantee that all of our permalinks work properly, we should jump into the permalinks settings screen and click save twice. And that will be sure to clear out any of the old permalink cache. So I click close, and now you'll notice that if I hover over settings in the sidebar and try to click on permalinks, even though I was logged in 5 seconds ago, now it's asking me to log in again. This is because that import process just deleted the existing database and imported a copy of the database from our local dev environment. Obviously, it uploaded all of our files too, because you can see that this is using our custom colors and login branding. Cool. Now, I do want to point out that you need to use your username and password that you set up at the very beginning of this course within your local dev environment. In other words, in our previous lesson, when you set up a new admin account for the web host copy of WordPress, that username and password just got completely deleted. So in other words, now our web host copy of WordPress is an identical copy from our local dev environment. Okay, so whatever username password combo you've been logging into WordPress with throughout this entire course, be sure to use that here. Okay, and once you log in, let's be sure to navigate to the Settings Permalinks screen. We don't need to make any changes. We just want to click the blue Save Changes button. And I'm pretty sure just clicking it once will do the trick, but the plugin did ask us to do it twice, so I will click it again. And that should guarantee that any of the old permalink cache is fully cleared. Cool, now if I use this link up in the top left to visit the front end of our website, awesome, so this is now live up for the entire world to view. ourname.sgedu.site. So you could send this link to your friends and family and ask them to sign up for an account and practice liking a professor or taking a few notes. You get the idea. Now, before we bring this lesson to a close, you might be wondering, how can you make edits or changes to our theme files? So, for example, on our homepage, this large welcome headline, this text does not live in our database. Instead, it lives in one of our PHP files. Now, if we were trying to edit our local dev copy of WordPress, instead of our live web hosting copy, we could just jump into our text editor And within our theme folder, jump into front-page.php. And here's the heading level 1 that says welcome. But if we edit and save this file, that's only going to update our local dev website. So the question becomes, how can we access and edit the copy of this file that is powering our live website? Well, the answer to that question is going to be a little bit different depending on which web host you're using. But let me show you how we could do that within SiteGround, and it will probably be fairly similar no matter which hosting company you use. So in a separate tab, visit siteground.com or whatever hosting company you're using, and go ahead and log in with your user account. Once you sign in, let's click on the My Accounts tab, and we are interested in this Go to cPanel link. cPanel is something that a lot of web hosting companies have in common. So go ahead and click Go to cPanel. If you're using SiteGround, this is just a message that it's trying to connect securely, so I will just click Proceed. Now, depending on the hosting company that you're using, this top header or branding area will look different, but the actual content of this page should look very similar. Let's not forget about the task at hand, right? We want to update our theme file named frontpage.php, and let's imagine we want to change this welcome headline to say hello instead. So back in our cPanel tab, we are interested in a feature named File Manager. So I'm going to scroll down until I see this section named Files, and I will click on File Manager. The default options are okay, so click Go. Here we see our root directory that is being served to the public. So this directory contains all of the WordPress system files. We know that our theme lives within the WP content folder, so let's click on that. Actually, let's double click on it to go into that folder. Okay, then let's double click on the themes folder. Let's click into our Fictional University theme. Okay, and here is the front-page PHP file that we want to update. Now we have two main options. We can edit this file locally within our text editor, or we can edit this file directly from within our web browser here. The choice is yours, but I will walk through both ways really quick for you. So in my text editor, if I change welcome to hello and save that, that by itself does not update our live website. That would only update our local dev website. However, back in the browser, while I am in this correct directory, I can click Upload up here, and then click Choose File, and then just navigate to your local dev environment files that we set up at the very beginning of this course. So for me on my desktop, I have a folder named Local Sites, and then Fictional University, and then App, and then WP Content, Themes, Fictional University Theme, and then let me find front-page PHP. This message is letting me know that a file with that name already exists. Do I want to overwrite it? And I will say yes. And now if I jump back to my live website and refresh, cool, we see hello instead of welcome. Now let me show you how you can edit the file through your web browser. So let me close this tab where we uploaded. Okay, and back in this tab, let's find that file again, front page, click on it, and with it selected, then we can choose Code Editor up at the top here. This message is letting me know that I should always have a backup of my files. I will go ahead and click Edit. Okay, here's that large heading level 1 headline, and maybe instead of hello, I will say hi there. Okay, then in the top right corner, I can click Save. And then if I jump back to my live website and refresh, perfect. Now I must say that neither of the two ways that we just updated that file are ideal. Manually uploading an individual file through our web browser is not ideal, and editing the text and code right in our web browser is also not ideal. Now, if you have experience with websites, you might be yelling at the screen right now saying, Brad, why don't we just use FTP? Well, I'm here to tell you that using FTP is also not ideal. In fact, avoiding having to manually upload your files with FTP is the entire point of Path B, right? The more advanced path of getting your website up onto the web. Now, we have reached the end of this lesson, and therefore the end of Path A, the simple way of pushing your website up. And I think the pros and cons of Path A are clear now. It was relatively simple and fast to move the website, but then making any sort of future updates to the code files is not the most elegant thing in the world. So, if you have any experience with the Git version control system, in our very next lesson, we are going to review Path B for uploading and deploying a website. Path B is a bit more advanced and complicated. However, making future updates to code files in Path B is super easy and luxurious. Maybe that sounds like something you're interested in, maybe it doesn't. Either way, let's keep things rolling, and I will see you in the next lesson.